I'm Emily Landis, and you're watching The Libby Show.
How did she do it? Do it. Do it. Do it.
Libby. Libby. Libby.
3, 2,
Libby.
1.
It's the Libby Show.
What's up, everybody? Cheers, Emily.
Cheers, Libby.
Yes, my brand new guest on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
We gotta drink when we cheers.
Well, we're gonna drink when we cheers, and we're gonna celebrate your brand new number one that you have out, the good ones, here on the show with a classic hang at Dino's in East Nashville.
Cheeseburgers, grilled cheese, BLT, good beers. Oh my gosh. Great patio, outdoor vibe.
Yes, which we're here right now. See, guys?
Check it
I
out.
bet these people don't want to be in our video, but we're just gonna kind of give you the lay of the land. They don't know.
They don't even know we're doing this over here.
No. Is this one of your favorite spots in East Nashville, or do you have any other?
You know,
spots you frequent?
I don't get out to the east side very often, but Dino's is a spot that I've been to a few times. I've tried to branch out from the cheeseburger, but I end up getting it every time. We're waiting for that to come right now.
We are.
But Basement East is like right down the road.
Yes.
And I used to go to shows there and pop over here afterwards for food and drinks.
So The Good Ones by Gabby Barrett is, of course, your number one. And I just checked, kid you not, 5 minutes ago, and it's still the top stream song on her Spotify. How does that feel to hear that?
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. Dream come true. Gabby Barrett is a superstar. And like, when we wrote it in 2019, so it's not it's not super old, the song. And normally I hear in Nashville these songs can take 5-10 years to land anywhere, and so it's just been surreal to watch it. And during the pandemic, like, to have a song on the charts that's climbing, it kind of just, the timing was something incredible, because I got to write a lot on Zoom, writing virtually, which is interesting, but I got to write with like peace in my soul of like, Emily, just write what you want to write. Like, the world is unpredictable right now, but this song kind of taught me, just trust your gut and write what's real and write what you want to write.
Write what you want to write. And I remember us talking about the timing of everything with your publishing deal and just how that all worked out. So speak to that, how that's been such a huge focus in your career of like just letting things take its course and
so
letting go, maybe.
Yes,
But
letting
that's
go
like
of control. I'm still learning that. Like, we're not in control of a lot of this. So I moved here to go to Belmont, and I kind of became the girl who was writing with all the Belmont artists. Like, these people wanted to perform, but they needed songs, and so we would kind of figure out how to write songs for them. And when I graduated Belmont, these publishers at Big Machine were judging this big Belmont showcase, the country showcase, and a couple of my friends were playing, and they were playing some songs that we had written together. And so very organically, I got to meet my publishers at the time, and I signed there at Big Machine when I was graduating. I was there for 2 years, and honestly, I was a baby writer. I was still learning how to write songs. I was still so green and fresh and new, and I was just now writing with people on Music Row, and I just wasn't writing songs that were good enough yet. Honestly, looking back, I can see that. But they had to let me go after 2 years, and it's a hard story, but they were the first people in town to ever believe in me. And that, walking out of their office that day, knowing, like, I need to figure this out, and where am I going to go from here? It kind of made me have, like, the kick in the, that I needed, that I didn't know I needed. And it made me reevaluate, okay, who am I as a writer?
Right.
I had my identity was wrapped up in this publishing company. I was like, I'm a Big Machine writer, instead of just I'm Emily Landis who writes songs. Like, who am I? And I really had to dig, what do I have to say? Like, I think I was trying to write songs that were already written. I was trying to sound like everybody else, and once I let go of that, letting go of control, like you said, good things happen.
How's your beer, Emily?
It's
delicious.
delicious.
New sour. It's really cute, isn't it?
It's a passion fruit sour beer.
Yes, that little
Avondale Brewing. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's really good.
Sounds
I
legit.
love a sour beer in the summertime. It's always refreshing.
Classic Tecate.
Which I've never had.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Try yours.
That's good with the lime in it.
Okay, this is more sour than it was earlier.
I know, and like, I think of sours, like the first sip, you have to like get, acclimated to how sour it is, and then the second sip, you're like, okay, I can taste it now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My brother got me hooked on sour beers.
Did he?
Shout out Charlie.
Shout out Charlie.
I know he's watching.
He's going to be watching this. He's probably going to be the biggest fan of the Libby show once he watches this.
He better be. He's a big country music fan, so I'm sure he would like to dig in.
Okay. Should we take a bite?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
I'm not a Dino's rep or anything, but I saw on the menu they have a Beyond Beef burger.
Do they?
So it's a veggie burger. And I've
You
never
can
tried
also-
the Beyond Beef stuff, but I bet it's pretty legit.
I feel like if you get the right one, it's awesome.
Uh-huh.
The good one. And do people use that as a pun all the time?
Pops up now? People don't mean to, but I notice it now.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
these
say
are
anything. Usually
battered
Some
fries.
other people do, but yeah, the fries are seasoned. This is what the influencers do.
Go on with that.
The brand.
Show you. This
the
is
brand
the
is
beige color. More of a beige toasty color.
Yeah. Nice pepper seasoning.
So something that I know about you is you are a huge brewery person.
I love
that
a
word.
good craft beer.
Yeah. What's your
Mhm.
favorite craft beer of all time? Maybe from your hometown or maybe from here. Both.
Probably from here.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm from St. Louis, so
Okay.
I'm a big Anheuser-Busch gal.
Yes.
But as far as craft beers go, like I said, I love sours. There's a brewery in Nashville called Honky Tonk that has a cherry sour
Okay.
that's incredible. And the
Cherry sour.
the can is really cute.
Is it retro?
It's this mint colored can with
Mhm.
red cherries all over it. It's super cute.
So if I'm going to St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
or anyone watching this, what's a local spot that they need to visit that isn't the
Order
Arch?
for Joshua.
That isn't the Arch? Isn't something else in St. Louis that is common? Like where should you go?
That's a hard question because I'm from Baldwin, which is a suburb 20 minutes from downtown.
Okay.
And I left town when I was 17, so I never hopped around the bars much. We would drink in our friends' basements, Drink
That's the
our,
way to do it.
our friends' parents' booze.
Mm-hmm.
So I really only have answers for touristy things. You kind of do have to go to Ballpark Village, go to the Anheuser-Busch brewery and get the proper tour. They give you
Okay.
some free beers. You can go see the Clydesdale Stadium.
Can you get
Stadium,
flights?
the Clydesdale stable. Yeah, you can get flights.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. I've only been during Christmas time when there's Christmas lights everywhere, but
Oh my
it's
gosh,
stunning.
I love that.
And they do they have some radio thing where a lot of country performers come and play in the Clydesdale stable, which is cool.
So what led you to want to write for country music? Was there any other genre that you were initially thinking about?
Libby,
or was it always country?
It was never any other genre. It was never. It was always you. It was always country. Yeah, I was thinking today, when did this start for me? When did this country music obsession start?
Mhm.
And I have really early memories in my dad's green Chevy Blazer. I remember all the details. It's hot in the summertime, the sun's shining through the windows, there's black felt seats that are warm. And
Kind of like right now, except it's humid as hell out here.
yeah, and my dad, the humidity though.
Yeah.
My dad would play on a loop Garth Brooks Double Live album.
Oh.
And I would hear Friends in Low Places, dun 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 dun, the first guitar little riff, and I would be in the back seat 5 years old, what is this? Why does this make me feel things?
Oh my god.
And then it would go from that rowdy song to the dance, and I'd be I don't even understand what this is about, but I love it. And then there's the river, and If Tomorrow Never Comes, and all these songs that were
classic
speaking
90s
to
country.
me. Yeah, I have my dad to thank for that for sure, because he was playing all of that, and then he was playing Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney, the good stuff, Kenny Chesney.
Yes.
So not to I mean, these songs aren't that old, but like it's a lot of early 2000s country that I feel like I grew up on.
Good,
Dixie
you know?
Chicks and Shania.
Dixie Chicks. So I have to speak to your dad and his Chevy truck. So my dad had a Chevy truck and would drive around and listen to Vince Gill and Alan Jackson. So
Wow. We all.
yeah.
God bless our dads for
No,
introducing us to this.
To all
we
the good
probably
stuff.
wouldn't be here chatting.
We wouldn't be here chatting right now if Ted and what's your dad's name? Sorry
Mark.
to ask that the wrong time. Ted and Mark weren't driving us around in Chevys listening to country music. You know?
And then, because I was still thinking about this today. How did I learn? When did I learn guitar? When did I pick that up? So my mom, she played very basic guitar chords. When she was young, she went to this summer camp in northern Minnesota, and she played at the campfire. And she went back as a counselor in college and played at the campfire. And when I was a kid, and me and my sister would have sleepovers with our friends, my mom would come and like play us these little camp songs at night while we were falling asleep. And I remember thinking like, she's the coolest person I've ever seen. I want to be just like her. And when I was a teenager, like 13-ish, mainly just out of boredom, I would say, I picked up her old guitar and learned like very basic chords on YouTube. YouTube was my guitar teacher. And ultimateguitar.com.
I mean, duh. For everyone.
Guitar tabs and YouTube videos.
That's where it's at.
And then Taylor Swift came out when I was in middle school, right when I picked up the guitar. And all of a sudden, this girl was singing about, like, boys in high school, and I was in middle school, but she was singing
it's all the same thing.
Exactly. All these things that I was like, oh my God, she's singing my story. And I didn't realize this till recently, but I'm pretty sure I started writing songs because of Taylor Swift. Like, we're in that generation now
we are.
Of girls
We
who
can
came
say
up
that.
listening to Taylor Swift.
We can claim that we were a part of the early Taylor Swift
Yeah.
phenomenon. So, like, when you moved here and you went to Belmont, like, if you could tell yourself at that age something to expect about the industry, what would you tell her? So what would you tell young Landis?
God, young Landis. I would tell her, like, stop trying to be everybody else.
Yeah.
I was spending so much time trying to write songs like Lori McKenna or write songs like Liz Rose or Craig Wiseman. Like, I had all these heroes that I'm like, they didn't get there by copying somebody.
No.
Or trying to be like somebody. They got there because they perfected what they do. And they kind of got their self-awareness out of the way and just did it. And I have to say the good ones is like the lesson of a lifetime to me of like, just write something that's real and don't think about what other people are going to think as long as it's from the heart. And like for me, that song is about my fiance Johnny, and I'm like, it's every word is real to me and every word is real to Gabby and her husband Cade. And like, we didn't try or we didn't think, is this line stupid? Is this line? But you just
wrote.
did it.
You just wrote.
Yeah.
And
so
that's all
like,
that matters. You know, and it resonated with Gabby, obviously.
yeah,
You know?
which that's all of the rest of that was out of my control. And like at that point, it's honestly like in God's hands. I'm learning.
It's true.
Music is way more spiritual than I ever realized.
That's a good point that you bring up there.
The whole
Can you
songwriting
expand?
process is very spiritual to me. I'm like, there's this feeling when everyone lands on an idea that everyone loves, and then all of a sudden you're like playing ping pong with lines. Like you're passing, here's a line, there's a line, here's a line, and there's this rhythm. And like, I read in this book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, where she talks about the creative process. She's like,
okay, I've heard about this book and I have not yet read it, and I've heard so much.
It's
so many good things
awesome.
about it.
It's awesome. I read it again recently and like highlighted everything. But she talks about when you like land on this idea that this is when like it feels like God kind of enters the picture. You start to feel like you're walking on one of those airport conveyor belt things that makes you move faster.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the words are flowing and the song's falling out, and like, this isn't us. Like, we're just writing it down. It feels like, you know? And when days happen like that and the song falls out,
it just
feels
big
magic. It's big magic.
Is what
and
it
big
is.
magic is whatever you want to believe it is, but I don't want to believe it's me.
Well, and I feel like big magic.
That's
doesn't
too much
happen
pressure,
often.
you know?
No, it is too
We
much.
have to walk in and be like, okay, we're going to work today, but if God wants to show up and take the pen for a little bit, hell yeah.
Which that also brings to like writing, you know, the story to our lives, and you know, not expecting ourselves to be responsible for the big magic that happens, you know, and because it doesn't happen all the time. People think it happens all the time, and that's only part of the story. But
it's like you show up every day.
You show up every
that
day.
One day out of the month, might be a big magic day.
Yeah.
Even maybe one day out of the year.
I mean, today's a big magic day.
I'm a big songwriter nerd, like
Okay.
country music nerd. Like I love the history of country music, and I love listening to podcasts and interviews that songwriters have done, like hit songwriters who I look up to. And Craig Wiseman, I listened to this seminar he did at like Belmont or somewhere.
Yeah.
Not while I was at Belmont, but he was
We were
talking
both
about
Belmont kids, by the way.
Yeah, I
Just inserting that.
love Belmont. It was the only deal my parents would make with me to let me move here if
Yeah.
I get a degree. So it worked out. I got a songwriting degree, and they're probably like, "How are you going to use that?" But here we are,
we're
Mom
using
and Dad.
it for number one.
Yeah. But Craig Wiseman, he said on this interview, back to our big magic
Yeah,
feeling,
big magic moments.
He
and
was like-
inspiration.
things started happening for him when he let go of his self-awareness. And he was like, you have to, this is how he said it, and I kind of love this. He was like, you have to run naked through the Garden of Eden. He's like, Adam and Eve, they just had no inhibitions. They're running naked. Eat the apple. Do it. Whatever you have to do. Just get rid of your self-awareness and run free. And
Yeah.
because that's the way you get closer to God, is kind of how he said it. That's the way you get out of your own way, and you can just create and not be afraid of maybe saying something new or saying something different, or just the way that you would say it.
Or just like failing. Like messing
Hell
up.
yeah.
Like everything doesn't have to be perfect. Like,
That's
I
been
just-
something I've learned.
And
I'm
like
such
it's
a
taken me
perfectionist.
ages to say that out loud. Like y'all just
Libby,
heard that probably for the first time out
You're
of my mouth.
speaking my language.
And I just, I think we're going to talk about this in a second, like with social media and everything. Like, it's such a, I don't want to, like, bring up another saturated conversation, but, like, I mean, there is this pressure to look cool, to, like, have everything, this is getting to my airwaves. There's just pressure to have everything look exactly the same, the brand to flow, like,
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm more than my show. I'm more than, certain pictures I post. Like, it's
Also, you're
sharing
more
my
than
life.
Numbers and like algorithms that decide whether you're going to be
Because
seen
like
or
the
not.
algorithm changes like every 5 seconds. So
I can't keep up with how Instagram works anymore.
Well,
Like they're selling me things. I was falling into the Instagram ads.
they're
Big time.
taking our money.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be saying that about
And our
about
time.
Post something.
They're
Like,
taking a lot of
oh
our
my
time.
god,
Have you watched The Social Dilemma?
I have, and I feel like it was just reiterating all my fears.
Yeah,
So I turned it off like halfway through.
I know, it's like too close to home, really.
So you're off Instagram right now, and we've talked about this a little bit. I'm gonna hashtag this Instagram list Landis.
Yeah, that's good. That's what my friend
What have
Libby
you
keeps telling
learned?
me. I've been really enjoying being off the gram. In 2
Is
days,
it helping your like songwriting sessions, like your presence?
I think I have more time to like read books and
Yeah.
watch shows, which like I get a lot of song ideas from like Sex and the City and Friends. Like,
Yes.
Actually,
Did you watch the
yeah.
Friends reunion?
yes,
Okay.
I
love it.
I love that you loved it. Some people
Mhm.
don't like Friends because it's like a very cheesy sitcom. A lot of my siblings make fun of me for liking Friends, but they've never given it a chance.
There's always naysayers. You know what I'm saying?
People love to hate things that are popular.
Mhm.
Honestly, that's what I have to say about
We're
that.
not exactly in the district that
Yeah.
accepts mainstream, so we better keep it on
No country music. No
East
Friends.
Nashville being like, don't hate on me.
Seriously though.
Well, that's awesome.
I might hop back on the gram at some time,
Well,
but I
please do.
want to go without it for like a year. I want to see if I know. In 2 days, if I don't log in, my account's gonna be deleted, like permanently.
Are you serious?
So I should probably log in.
You should probably log in and then log back out.
and then log back
Just
out.
so we
just
can
in
still have
case.
you around, you
so
know what I
it's
mean?
not. Yeah, I don't know. I it was also becoming a thing where it was all my pictures from high school and college were on there, and I'm like, this is where people are coming to find me now. This is like my website, and I was not a very professional Instagrammer. You know, now
What
it's
if we
now it's
went-
headshots and like really. I don't know. Some
I've
people
kind of
still
thought
keep
about
it
going
cute.
back, just posting things without filters.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the other day, I was talking to my friend about like
Those were
I
the
love
days.
like watching my mom's Instagram stories because she's just like filming the ocean and
Yeah.
not adding gifs, or get gifs or whatever you call
Yeah.
them. Music, like it's a lot. You know what I mean? But I'm so happy to like be hanging with you today and
Me
like
too, Libby.
chilling over at
Thanks
Dino's
for getting me
Burger.
out.
Yeah, anytime. We're gonna finish our burgers off camera because I'm sure you don't want to see me
Like it's almost
chomping out of this
gone.
every 5 seconds. Go stream The Good Ones by Gabby Barrett. Again, it's the top song on her Spotify profile, so go check it out, stream it, and be sure you follow the Libby Show everywhere you watch content because Absolutely. You get to enjoy hangs like this with us.
The best.
See you guys soon.